Oh, sorry about that. Greetings, everyone. I will go ahead and start showing you what I've got in my finds box. Okay, we're not going to be going for too long today, but I've just been through my finds box and I've been sorting out my silver coins, sorting out the rings, and thought, oh, okay, good opportunity to be able to share with a few people. So I thought I'd do it that now. Okay, let me turn the camera around and we'll get things underway. Okay, all right. So, okay, here we go. I got these finds box from the local Bunnings, which is a big box hardware store. And yeah, all right. So these are the rings that I found this year so far. So, okay, so if you've been following some of the videos, you'll see that a few of these rings are well known to you. This one here I found not that long ago. I found this one down in a park in Melbourne. Very, very creepy. Certainly not my taste, but anyway. This one here, a very large, chunky silver ring. Okay, it's got turtles on it. Actually, and the backs are raised, so it's actually quite a sharp ring to wear. Obviously a man's ring as well, just with the sheer size of it. Okay, an antique ring here, and it's got some damage. You can see it's been pushed out of the bottom there, but this was actually quite a lovely find. I found this in an old park up in Sydney. Okay, so that was a great find. This one here, yeah, I found this one down in Melbourne. Looks like it's seen the mower at some stage, so it's been belted with a mower and does have an engraving in the back there. But that's a nice silver ring. This is actually quite, going from something small down to this one here. This one here is quite very dainty. But I was quite amazed with all of these rings. They all rang up really super strong. So this one here I found. This one was recorded and is on YouTube as well, and Instagram and TikTok as well. That was a really good find. That's 925 silver in there as well. Yeah, I thought it would be an antique ring, but actually quite modern. Okay, these two here, believe it or not, I actually found them a week apart. This one here is a Pandora ring. So is this one here. They're stacker rings, and it was quite interesting that I found them a week apart. This one here's got a tiny little stone in it, slightly misshapen, but hey, that's the sort of thing that happens with rings as they become finer. This one here, yeah, I found this one. Found this one up on the north coast of New South Wales. That was a nice find as well. And you can see the no, not engraving, but the stamp just inside. So that's silver as well. Okay, now this one here, whilst it's not a ring, I like to keep it in here. It's a tiny little rabbit. Okay, so that's obviously a Pandora charm that's come off somebody's bracelet, or maybe necklace. Who knows? Okay, just moving along here, we've got another ring, silver. This one here, a little. I'm not quite sure what this is. I don't think it is actually anything, precious. I don't think that's gold at all. Okay, I do have a gold ring. Okay, we've got one there. This one here is a lovely, really solid silver ring, quite nice. And this one here as well. Okay, it's hard to see, but it's got actually some thatch work across the top of the ring here, and it's a little bit hard to see, but actually it was quite nice ring. Okay, this one here is a dress ring. Yeah, it's a junker, but you know, as they say, a ring is a ring. This one here, you know what? It says 10K. It says 10K gold here, but you know, it has some wear. Oh, sorry, it says 10K just there, but you know, it has some weird wear on it. So I'm not quite sure about that ring there. Okay, this one here is an interesting ring. Looks like it's copper inside, and it has this inlay all the way around. So that's an interesting ring. This one here I found near a local high school. For the conspiracy theorists out there, yes, it's the all-seeing eye of the Illuminati. That's an interesting ring, and you know, just a junker. Here is another ring. I'm not quite sure what this one is. It's unusual. I think it's a copper ring once again with an inlay in it. I'm not sure whether it actually had a stone here at some stage, but who knows. This one here, not silver. I'm not sure what it is. It's like a butterfly type design, but you know, I was actually quite excited when this came out of the ground, but you know, I was soon let down. And this one here, I have no idea. Look, I think it's a ring. It feels like a ring. It's about the size of a ring, and you know, I found that near a sports field. Yeah, so that's it. That was an interesting find. Anyway, moving on. Okay, they're the rings that I've found this year so far, and the coins. Okay, these are just the coins over the last few weeks. Okay, so oh, actually, I've got two buttons in here as well. I'm not a button guy, but I became a button guy when I found this one here. This is an Australian military button. I looked and looked and looked and could not find, you know, another one in the area, but this came out of the ground, looked fantastic when it came out. Yeah, and I have that on Instagram and TikTok as well. This one here, it's really difficult to be able to see the detail. Oh, it's not looking too bad there, actually. I don't know if it's a bear or if it is some sort of big cat, but it seems to be down in a river. Now, in the background there, you can actually see there's like a tree line, but there's actually a native here, and I think he's holding a spear of some sort. But I found this on a quite an old farm. It's a two-piece button. Not sure from when, but I just thought that was a lovely thing. Probably one of the best things I found that session. Okay, not a silver coin, but this is an early farthing. I thought it was a dog tag when I first saw it because, you know, as you can see, it's got the hole in it. But Britannia is sitting there and they've drilled through her head. Okay, anyway, so I tried to clean it up. This is the best I could do. I didn't go too hard on it, so, you know, I thought that with the hole in it, you know, it's not going to be worth too much anyway. So, you know, I was happy to get it as clean as what I could. But that was my first ever and my only farthing so far. Whilst not a silver coin, this one here, I'm actually quite excited to find this because I've found two of these now. This is a Luna Park token. I'm not sure from when. Okay, on here it says no cash value. Yeah, I don't know from when, but I was quite excited to go ahead and find that. Anyway, moving on. Okay, now to the silver coins. These are the silver coins that I've just found over the last, probably the last 3 months, I would say. Anyway, so I've found a few of these ram's head shillings. Okay, the reason why they look so clean is because I've just gone ahead and, you know, spent the last 2 days cleaning them. And if you want to know how I clean my coins, And I know a lot of people say that you shouldn't clean your coins, but these are mine. I did check them to see if there were any key dates, and there were no key dates here. So I cleaned them with a little bit of sodium bicarb, okay, and just you put the sodium bicarb on the surface, and just do this round and round, and if I can't get it off, like the crud that you can see in here, I just leave it, and that's the sovereign on the back. There's the queen in her younger day, okay. But these ram's head shillings, it's interesting because I've only ever found 3 of these, and then in the last 3 months I've found 3. So I've always found these really, really, for me, difficult coins to find, and I've found 3 of them. So here they are, and they're beautiful coins. They're really a real talking point. Do I sell anything? That's a really good question, Brett. No, I don't. I don't sell them. I've been metal detecting now for coming up for 2 years, and I really haven't sold anything yet. And I've never. Oh, actually, funny you should mention that. Actually, I did have somebody offer, believe it or not, to buy this. And I really don't like it, but it's been such a popular ring. Gets lots of comments when I post it online. That I don't know. I find it really hard to sell it. Mind you, these are available on eBay. I did look them up on eBay, and they're only a few bucks. So it's a junker ring, but I think for me it's worth more, for the story than anything else. These coins here. Okay, these are called Australian florins. Now, depending on the date, okay, if they're before 1945, they're sterling silver. Let's see. Okay, this one's 1944. Okay, and you can see the Queen's dad there on the back. Okay, so that's cleaned up really, really nicely. I'm really pleased with that one. Here's another one. This one here is what? 1946. Okay. I do have one in here. I used electrolysis to clean the coin. And you've got to be a little careful cleaning coins when you're using electrolysis, especially if it is an Australian coin after 1945. This one here is a 1957 florin. This has 50% copper, 50% silver. So what happens when you go ahead and you use electrolysis to clean it, it tends to get, and I think you can see just a little bit here, sometimes these coins can get like a little bit of a pinkish hue. And, I don't know whether I did this or whether it was done beforehand, or maybe it was hit with a mower before, it was under the ground. But, I really, really love finding these coins. A florin is actually worth 2 of these, 2 shillings. Okay. It was the highest denomination Australian coin there was, with the exception of a silver crown, which was 5 shillings, 5 of these, okay? But that was only issued in 2 years, 1937 and 1938. With the 1938 one being the rarer one because it was made in less quantities. The 1937 one was made in quite large quantities. It was a very, very large coin. I've seen them online. I don't own one, but I have seen them, and they are very large coins. And there wasn't that many, believe it or not, stay in circulation, because as soon as the coin came into circulation, people started hoarding them. So they came into circulation, but they weren't used a great deal. Okay, this one here, I was amazed to find this coin. It's a 1910 silver shilling. Okay, now, if you know anything about Australia started making its own currency in 1910. So this was one of the first shillings that came out. Okay, has the king on the back there, you can see. However, how I found this coin, I thought to myself, look, I am not going ahead and I'm not going to go ahead and post this because people are just going to say, yeah, fake, fake, fake. Yeah, you planted it and so on. Because I know that I certainly know that I didn't. I was at a beach that I have been at many, many times before. And as I was walking off the beach, I was, basically detecting, back to the car, and I got to the ramp, and it's a main city beach. I got to the ramp where you walk off the beach, and about a meter off the ramp and no more than 15 centimeters down, this coin was sitting there. It was grey. It was covered in sand and everything, and it was really crusted on. I couldn't really make out what the coin was. When I first pulled it out, I thought it actually was a 10-cent piece. I wasn't that excited. The more I looked at it, I could actually see a little bit of the definition of the coat of arms. And I got instantly excited. There was nothing else that was visible because it was actually crusted over with a lot of sand. And you can see, I have put this one through the, cleaned it up with some electrolysis. And this is about as good as it's going to get. I'm not going to go any further on this coin. But, I just wasn't going to have anybody say, oh, that was fake. Because I have done that beach to death, and it was running at about the same depth as what I was pulling out Australian gold coins. When I say Australian gold coins, I don't actually mean gold coins, but they're it's a clad coin, and it's gold in color. I was just going to grab one over there, but it means I've got to move the tripod. But I was so excited to find this because I have never found a pre-1940 40 shilling, because this design here, I think it was 1940, no, I think it was 1945. We started getting the Ram's Head shillings. Okay, previous to that, we only had these. So what I think happened with this, it's a beach where I've found lots of silver coins before, but always in the surf zone. And I think what happened here was the beach has had massive erosion over the last 6 months, 6 to 9 months. And I think another metal detectorist has actually found this. And as they were walking back, they've accidentally dropped it. It's fallen out of their pouch. But it just doesn't make sense that I found it where I found it, because that area there where I actually found it would have been metal detected hundreds and hundreds of times. And I don't know how anybody could have missed this, especially with it only just being just below the surface. Maybe somebody thought no, they wouldn't have thought. They would have dug it anyway. But I was so excited to get this. Okay, just moving on to these little sixpences. Okay. I've got 3 of these. These are beautiful coins. Oh, that's not the sixpence you fool. Okay, these ones here. Beautiful little sixpences. These are one of those coins that when we had the changeover in 1945, the design of the sixpence didn't change. It still kept the coat of arms on it. So this one, 1962. 1946 and 1958. So all of those would be a 50% copper, 50% silver. Tiny little threepence here. Okay, you can see it's got little wheat, bits of wheat on it. You can see the grain. There it is. That's a better shot. And this one here, which one was it? No, it was this one here. This is the one that I found just the other day. It came out of the ground. It came out of the ground terrible. 1943. So this is a sterling silver one. And should have the king on the back. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I pulled it out. I took a photo of it this way. When it came out of the ground, it was really hard to get the dirt off it, but it looks you know, it's an amazing, amazing, beautiful little coin. But yeah, so that's what I found in the last few months. I found a lot of other stuff, a lot of, you know, decimal coins and pennies and half pennies, and so on. Too many of those to mention, but you know, at the moment, this is what I just pulled in the last 3 months, and these ones here, this is what I've got. You know, there's probably at the moment about 12 months worth of rings here. Oh, here we go. I do have a few, you know, pennies and half pennies and so on. They come out of the ground pretty well toasted. You know, they're usually you've got one side that's good. Yeah, yeah. You can see the sovereign on the back here. But copper coins in Australian soil, they don't really do very well in my experience. Well, around here in the Illawarra, Wollongong area, usually the side that's facing down, obviously this side would have been facing down. Yeah, kind of, that's not too bad, but the side that faces up always gets an absolute hammering. Okay, here we go here. Yeah, we've got an old half penny, and this one here is a Commonwealth half penny. There we go, turn it around the right way. There we go. What detector am I using? That's a good question. Thank you for asking, Brett. I'm using a Nokta Makro Legend, and I really, really love that detector. The detector I used before that, and I still own it, is a Vanquish 540. I got the Pro Pack in that, and so many people. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to upgrade from the Vanquish to the Equinox 800. But so many people, you know, basically said, listen, if you're using your Vanquish and it's going well and you understand how it works and so on, just stick with that. It's not worth the extra outlay to go ahead and, you know, get the Equinox 800. And I've used the Nokta Makro Legend, and I have been absolutely amazed with it. I have gone ahead and taken it to parks where I have used the Vanquish 540, and I went to a park with the Nokta Makro Legend, and I started finding coins that I'd missed before. And I'm a pretty slow sort of guy with the detector. I like to go kind of low and slow, or low and medium, and I overlap my swings when I do so. So I'm very methodical. I'm not the sort of guy that just kind of wanders around any which way. I kind of start off gridding, and that just helps me because I know where I've been before. If I leave that park, you know, I make a mental note. Okay, I did this area from that tree to that tree there, and you know, I know that, you know, I had done that park on 2 previous occasions and done it to death, and took the Legend to that park and did really, really well out of it. I was really pleased. I think you typed another question, but it just kind of jumped away. So if you want to just like type that in again, that would be great. But these little cases, look, I certainly recommend them. I do take them out. I had 3. I gave one away, and now I've got 2. Yeah, they're waterproof. They're got a really, really strong snap lock on them. And these were around about, I think they were about $15 each. But, oh, you've got a 540 Pro Pack yourself. Look, I really like that detector, and I really find that in trashy parks, that that smaller coil that you can use, I think it's the 8-inch coil, that is magic. That is a really, really good coil to use. And in fact, you know, I find that, you know, with the smaller coils, I don't mind the less reach it has in terms of, you know, when you're swinging backwards and forwards. I think they detect to the same depth, but I really don't mind the smaller coil, because I get the target separation that I get is just so much better whenever I use a smaller coil, be it on the Vanquish or be it on the Nokta Makro. But I had that, I had that, that thought that, oh, will I upgrade? Should I upgrade? And the thought process about that. And I've paid off my my Vanquish 540. That took me about 7 months to go ahead and pay it off with the money that I found. I will show you. This is kind of like a working area that I have at the moment, just over here. So you can see, this is kind of range of stuff that I've dug just over the last week or so. So there's a lot of 1 cent pieces. I love 1 cent pieces. Okay, Brett, whereabouts are you from? But I love these 1 cent pieces. I find that they're great. 1 and 2 cent pieces, because they're copper, and to me it's a great indication that if you're finding lots and lots of these, and people don't like them, but I love them, if you're digging lots of these, it's a pretty good indication that not too many people have gone ahead and they've dug before you. So you're up in the Sutherland Shire. Okay, I'm in Wollongong, so I find that they're great coins. And Brett, if you go to a park and you're digging plenty of these, whatever you do, like, don't be discouraged. That's just a pretty good indication that nobody's been there before, or if they have been there before, they haven't done such a good job. And I know that, excuse me, I know that I've been to a few parks up in the Sutherland Shire, and you haven't started yet, but still waiting on a pinpoint and a try button. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it is. And if I can recommend, can I recommend that you go ahead and get in contact with, I don't know if you've ordered anything at the moment, so what I should ask is that if you've ordered something, good. But I have used a local company down here, and if you wanted to go and see them, I'd certainly recommend them to Tech Dead. They're based in the industrial estate in Unanderra. You could actually drive down and see them. And they've got those Nokta Makro pointers, which I absolutely love. They are a machine. They are. They're $159, and I'll be honest, I can't fault them. They have these wonderful sleeves an orange sleeve that will slide over the probe on the front. So if you're a bit like me, you kind of like push the pinpointer through the ground and so on, and you can wear the tip away. But it's got these sleeves that just like go straight over. And one of the sleeves, is smooth, and the other sleeve has like a little flange on either side, so you can kind of like do a little bit of digging as well. But I really enjoy using that. I have used a Garrett. Those Garrett ones, the Garrett copies that you buy off eBay are horrible. I would not. And I know they're horrible. Because I used to do, that's the first one that I bought. I thought it would be good, and it wasn't. And it didn't take long for it to stop working. So I went out and I bought the Nokta Makro one, and I've never looked back since. But in my previous life, when I used to be a teacher, I would take the metal detector to school, do metal detecting with kids, and some kids can be pretty rough on stuff, and those ones that the Garrett copies, they're horrible. I've bought 4 of them, and none of them work. And it's not because kids have always been rough as guts with them. I think it's because the build quality is really, really poor. I hope you didn't order one of those, and if I have said something against it, I hope I haven't insulted you. But if you wanted to, if you wanted to actually go out, and go for a swing together, and you're down here in Wollongong, definitely hit me up. And if you'd like me to, just send me a DM. I'm metal detecting mad at Gmail, metal detecting mad Australia at gmail.com.au. Or you can hit me up on TikTok or Instagram as well. So just send me a message, send me a DM and just say you were chatting with me on my first live stream, and I'm more than happy to go for a detect with you. More than happy to go with anybody, because it can be quite lonely sometimes. But I do enjoy the solitude. Oh, something else. I found this in Campbelltown, believe it or not. I was passing through, and it's a sterling silver bracelet. So, not a bracelet, a bangle. And I had a look at it, and it's got a stamp inside. But I was really amazed to find this. It was right next to a garden edge. I don't know how a council worker would have actually missed seeing this in the grass. I have no idea, unless they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. But it has a really, really interesting design on the outside. So I'm not thinking it's worth any great amount of money, but when you find, it's always fun to find jewelry. And I definitely enjoyed finding this. All right, so I've hit the half an hour mark. I didn't even think I'd go ahead and do that. I thought, I'll spend a quick 5 minutes and show some of my stuff off. But thank you for joining me for the live stream. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, do all of that sort of stuff. But most of all, get yourselves out, have an adventure, and enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining me.